Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Diehard 3.75 and today we're going to take a look at a Hiya Toys exquisite mini Walking Dead Dead City Negan.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Alright guys, so like we always do, we're going to quickly take a look at the packaging. This is my first Walking Dead figure from Hiya Toys, and I don't know too much about the franchise. I wasn't even sure how to pronounce this guy's name. In fact, I had actually never heard it pronounced before, but good friend of the channel, I mentioned this in the haul video, uh, Jabalong in Toy City. Shout out to Jabalong. Kind of wrote out how to say it, and I believe he told me, and I could still be saying it wrong. It's Negan. Negan. Um, this package, the box that this figure arrived in was completely crushed, guys. I'm surprised that this actually came out how it did. You can see it's pretty messed up, but I thought it would be even worse if you would have saw the other box. Um, but I do like that Haya's doing the cards with the bubbles now. I know with the Judge Dredd stuff, they got into some weird shapes, and right when that line ended, it seemed like they had finally settled on going to cards and bubbles like this. This is how I like to see my 118 or 3.75-inch figures. This one is unpunched. It does say The Walking Dead Dead City. Not really sure. Maybe that's a different show or a spin-off of The Walking Dead. It is part of the Exquisite Mini line. You can see here, it looks like he comes with a bat that's wrapped in barbed wire, the sort of standard Hiya Toys stand with the two H or I joining clips. Looks like a pipe right there, and a couple sets of hands, and maybe even another hand here at the bottom. On the back of the card, there's a couple glamour shots of the figure. This one with the fist, an open hand. This one holding the pipe and a fist. Not much to this packaging. I do like it though that it is on a card back. We'll be opening it up. It is a really nice, stiff, sturdy card stock. So that's enough about the packaging. Let's get them open. All right, we've got Negan out of packaging, and I thought this was really creepy. I thought there was an extra hand or arm in there, and you can see it's actually a hand coming out of the ground. Um, Pretty creepy, pretty cool. A lot different. None of the other. There's one peg there, and then of course the two H or I joints. So very cool. Not seen them do something like that before. Very cool piece. Um, let's go over accessories since we're talking about the stand really quick. Got the baseball bat here. Very nice looking piece. There is like a metallic sheen over the barbed wire part and a matte sort of finish over what would I guess would be the baseball bat. I can't tell if it's supposed to be a metal bat or a wood bat, but it is more of a matte finish. I think my lights are giving a little bit of glare on it. It might all be metallic, but definitely there's silver over that barbed wire at the end. The bat. Very cool piece though. And here is the pipe. Very cool pipe. It's got, I guess what we'll say it's like a drilled out ends. It's a bit longer than the bat. Very cool pieces though. Obviously you can use these for anything. Um, I I'm gonna use this guy, I think, with my real world military stuff, my GI Joe type stuff. He's, for me at least, he's not a science fiction character, um, but he looks really good. I've got to admit that the likeness on this figure, the portrait, is much better than what we've been getting with the GI Joes. I'm not sure that it looks so much like the actor who portrays the character but it definitely looks realistic. They've got the flesh tone right. Sculpt is great. It does look like a real person. Now, I'm not sure it actually looks like the actor, but it is much better than what we've been getting with the Hiya Toys GI Joe stuff. And maybe that's because this is based on a real person rather than a you know cartoon type or renderings fictional characters. um, his articulation is a little bit different than let's see, I've got the Destro here. Scales perfect, but the articulation is a bit different. There's no thigh swivel on this guy. Let's talk about it really quick. He does have the diaphragm joint, ball hinged shoulders. Does have, it looks, feels like the barbell joint on the head, neck. This overlay, this coat is really nice. It's a very nice soft vinyl type plastic, and I think because of the colors, you can remove this. Probably be a little bit difficult to get back on, but you can remove it, and because the sleeves match the shirt, you could definitely do the jacketless version and just have a long sleeve shirt. I think that would still work. He does have the double hinge at the elbow, and he's got the Hayatoy, um, what would you call it? The ball joint wrist. I can see now that I forgot to grab the other hands out of the packaging, so I'll do that here in a second. But he did come with these two gripping hands already on. I probably will not take those off. One of the troubles that I've had with Hiya in the past, and Joy Toy as well, is once you take that hand off, the other one might not go on quite as well, and you could never get the original hand back on to stay. um, it happens, not all the time, but it does, and I'd rather not risk it, especially when he already has the gripping hands on that you would need to hold the accessories. He also has this nice scabbard with knife. This is um, it is removable. The scabbard feels like it is glued on though, but it is a nice little knife there. Um, Again, metallic sheen on it, grip, textured, sculpted on the handle. Very small piece though, probably easily lost. No thigh swivel. He does have a double hinge knee, and looking at this knee, it is quite different than this one. This one does have a knee pad on there, but this knee, I was thinking it reminds me more of this 52 Toys knee that we got with the Cody here, where it's sort of a longer round piece, like so. Not quite as bad as this one, but it looks good. Um, it's another way, to kind of hide the pinless type look. Also has a, feels like a hinged ankle that spins, but you don't get a lot out of it because of the sculpt of the cuff of the pants. A lot of sculpting throughout the outfit and the pants and the jacket, little buttons and rivets, hooks, belt buckle there. Very good, very nice figure. If this is how this line is going to go, I'm all in. I'm all in. This looks like this is a really good figure. You can see the sculpting in his hair there. He's got great scale. Let's do a quick scale comparison. Move some of this out of the way. I did have this out earlier, so we'll just put him right there. This is the Hiya Toys Destro. Got the Red Crow Ashigaru from Toys Alliance here. Got, let's just put this guy out there. Completely different genre. We got Brainiac from the DC Spin Master Metal Force. Uh, Fatal Fluffy, Super 7. Reaction Plus, and Farm Boy Luke. Let's not leave Farm Boy Luke out. He's always quite small, smaller than everyone else here. So scale's perfect. Good looking figure, great sculpt. Not a lot of paint on this guy because he is in the just black. But they've got the eyes right, the pigment, the flesh tone. Excellent figure, excellent figure. High quality, exquisite mini, as they would say. But very, very cool. A lot of sculpting on him, you know, buttoned up t-shirt, got buttons. You can see each individual button opens into a V. Just a really good looking figure. Not a lot of accessories, but just enough. And I'm imagining this is what he uses in the show. They gave him a knife, a bat, and a pipe. Comes with the stand. And let's take a look at those extra set of hands, so you can see what else he comes with. Okay, let's quickly look at the extra set of hands. I'm glad I noticed they were gone and I didn't throw them away. But it is an open hand, like almost a handshaking hand or a waving goodbye or hello type hand. And then a fist. And you can see just how small that ball joint is. When a Hayatoy figure breaks, or even a Joy Toy, again, a Joy Toy figure breaks, it's usually right here, removing or adding the hands because of that ball joint. I'm not a proponent of the ball joint. I know some people like it. I still prefer the plug and peg, that most other lines like what else? The Star Wars, when you do get an extra set of hands, or the Acid Rain, which again, they don't always come with extra hands, but I do prefer or Eagle Force is a good example, or the Zyka Toys stuff. Um, I like the plug and play. It's just easier to use. It is on a hinge. I think the idea though with this ball joint is you do get a better range of motion and you don't have that hinge. You can't see that hinge. And Haya seems lately, this is one of the things, and this is to be commended. They have been really trying hard, I think, to hide the articulation. Another example of that would be their Star Trek line with all of the articulation underneath the overlay of the coat or the shirt. Um, they did. I know some people, it's come up a couple of times. They didn't like how they hid the neck joint under the shirt because it's can't pop and swap the head, but they did not do that for here on this one, and this would probably been a better way for them to do those Star Trek figures, but they did, for some reason they chose to hide that one. Here they didn't so much, but I could see that seems to be the way they're trying to go, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm down for innovation. I like to see things, them to try new things. Sometimes it doesn't work though, and sometimes it does. For this figure, this is a home run. I think this is a great figure. In fact, this is right up there with some of the best, highest stuff I've ever gotten. I think with that Destro, some of those Joes. This is definitely better than the older Alien stuff. I think even the Predators, probably, um, probably better than some of the Joes. And the Judge Dredd stuff definitely better than the Judge Dredd stuff, and probably the RoboCop too. I think the GI Joe and this guy here, probably some of the best stuff Haya's ever done. So I can definitely recommend this guy. I think I don't know, prices are all jumping around right now, but I believe I got this guy for $25, and I think he's worth it. This is a very premium figure. It feels premium. The sculpt, the paint, the articulation. A little light on accessories, but they're still really good. They're painted and sculpted really well. Does come with the stand, an extra set of hands. So definitely a pickup, guys. This is a very good figure, and I like him. I like him a lot. Can recommend him. Let me know if you're going to pick him up. Let me know if you got this guy. I know there's several other figures already pipelined and pre-ordered for this line. I have pretty much pre-ordered all of them except the zombies. Won't be getting those. I'm not a big vampire zombie kind of guy, but I could definitely use this guy. This guy would be a great bodyguard, bank robber, thug, street thug, gangster. This guy's got a lot of uses, a lot of uses, and I think one of the best facial sculpts that they've done. All right, so that's the video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye now.